He's such an intelligent man and very interesting man to just talk to or person, let's say. So the script is so multi-layered and so interesting just reading it and then working on it with Tariq. He's got so many different, I mean, he's teaching me a lot of, this is our third like major feature we've done together, and he teaches me so much about so many things. He's just so beautiful and intelligent to listen and talk to. And after we've talked so much about the script and everything, it's not even because to me the best directors are the ones that don't direct that much, that actually are better listeners, that listen. And if you need a little bump somewhere, he would just give you that little bump, and or if you need that help. Yeah, that's what I would say about him.
Which is interesting for
I
me.
agree so much.
Yeah.
I This is my first feature with Thought but I was such a fan of his previous work. Really just found him to be really, he has such an interesting perspective, like a very different perspective into a world that we don't get to see very often. So that was one of the first things that always attracted me to his work. But also, he has a really distinct vision. Like, he really is, he knows what he wants. And you can tell by his films. And then, of course, working with him just confirmed that for me. It's like he really is a man of few words, but what he says is actually really smart and really powerful. And I totally agree that the best directors are really secure, not saying too much. Very often you can, directors kind of speak from a place of insecurity and they kind of maybe say too much and put you in your head and get you thinking too much. But Tarek is one of those directors who just, he'll give just a couple of words, but it'll change everything. He'll just give
Mhm.
one succinct sentence or two sentences and it just evokes a whole different direction. And so I really loved that about working with him.
Also, what I personally love about this movie is no disrespect to big streamers. You can watch a lot of movies on a streaming service on your phone and just watch the movie, and no disrespect, that's fine. But with this film, I think a lot of people, if they ever watch it on a streamer, they might say, "Oh, I really wish I saw this in a big theater because it's so beautiful." You can talk so many things about this movie, but can you guys speak to the fact that this is a very cinematic film made by cinephiles from both sides of the camera, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, we've got like one of the best production designers in the world, according to my opinion, a Swedish production designer called, his name is Roger Rosenberg. And also him and Tarek and our cinematographer, Pierre Ahi, is, I mean, he's made the best film ever made, according to me, which is The Hate. I mean, he is just phenomenal. So, and also the vision that Tarek has. I mean, the three of them, they can really, I agree with you. And just also filming in the setting of, I mean, I know it's supposed to be Egypt, but we filmed it in Istanbul. I mean, all the colors and just I think the weather and the heat, or something makes it come out very beautiful, and not as cold as, for instance, if you film, the colors just look different if you would film in Sweden, for example. So yeah, thank you for saying that. I mean, I think that every film should be I mean, you should watch every movie in in the theater because it just looks and feels so much better that way.
It is a different experience. It's true.
Yeah,
Because not only are you seeing it on the big screen, so you're just noticing more of the details that the director planned, that the director like really intentionally put in the frame for you to feel something, for you to see
yeah,
something. And it's also a different experience in a room, like in a dark room full of strangers, where you're hearing other people's reactions and that inevitably affects you. It impacts you emotionally, whether it makes you hear other people laughing. And so it makes you go from just smiling to actually laughing because you're in a room of people laughing now. Or you hear other people
exactly.
crying. And I think it's just such a different experience. I love the movie going experience. There's really nothing like it.
Just
Mm.
a very quick left turn here. This is a movie that feels like people put their heart and soul into. And Shireen, you were talking about emotional education of cinema. What has it been like to actually put your heart and soul into something that you are passionate about and then see it received in return by people who share their own stories with you? I think the last maybe year it must have been a profound experience for you, not just on a cinematic level, but on a human level?
Yeah, it's really profound, actually. I mean, when you pour your soul, your heart and soul into something, and you gather people who also do the same, which is true for my film and very much, I think, true for this film as well. You think you really capture something special. People are coming together, and they're just really, everyone is bringing their own just distinct kind of vision within the larger vision, of course, but like they're really just honing in on their craft, whether it's playing a part or like the production design, as Fettis was saying. And it's really profound when you watch it with an audience and you feel people's responses. And whether that's laughter, because that can feel really joyful to be in a theater hearing people laugh, or whether that's tears. And with my own film, I was amazing because I shot this movie while I was in the middle of production on mine. So
Yeah.
I was prepping, I had already shot Jordan and Cyprus, and I was prepping in Athens and about to go on production when I took a week off to go, and I had to go back and forth to Istanbul. I mean, thankfully I was in Greece, which is it's only like an hour and a half flight to Istanbul. But it was just like three different times I was flying back and forth for this film. And so it was a really kind of remarkable experience, I think, for that reason, just that reason alone is just like that experience of, okay, let me put my world on hold and let me go into this other world now. But in some ways, I was playing in both films these very tragic female characters in a way, like that were carrying the weight, like the emotional burden of the film. And I think in this film as well, like this character really, she's the stakes of the film. You see what will happen to George Fahmy if he doesn't, you see through her what's happening to her, what will happen to him. She's carrying that emotional burden. So I just remember at that time feeling, oh, this is a lot to carry emotionally, like both of these female roles at the same time.
As far as roles first, just playing George, just such a layered character because he is a man of principle. He means well. I think without giving too much away, his flaw is thinking that since he is the big star, he can play so many different angles. What was it like to play such a layered character? And I think cinephiles can actually learn some life lessons through the eyes of George. So
That's amazing. Well, when you read a script and you like you read a character that is so multi-layered and that also have some challenges, of course, because the first I remember that the first time I read the script, I mean, just to be clear, as an actor, that's what you want. Like you want to play a character that's not one note that can bring so much. Like I like to see a character as an iceberg. Like you have to just see the top of it, and you have so many layers under that you kind of like just use if you need to, and it makes you a little bit heavier so you don't fall over. And but when I first read the script, I told Tarik, I mean, this guy, he's really interesting, but there is a problem with him. There's a little challenge, and that is how he's supposed to like this guy because he's cheating and not really he's lying basically to the people closest to him. And so I had to me was holding on to some of his relationships, and the one that hurt him most, except his son in the end, is actually the story with Cherien was very important to me. I spoke to Tarik about it a lot. She was like she's co-worker. He didn't really want anything from her, and he just the only thing he just wanted to help her because he was still a human being, even though he was we count George Fahmy is a larger than life character, which and an actor, and of course it makes him a little bit of he's got that narcissism in him because people treat him like God. So, and it's very hard to kind of like shell yourself from or like defend yourself from those kind of feelings to becoming a narcissist, I think, for someone like him. But these small relationships that he has with, for example, Rula's character was very important because maybe he saw like maybe she is him and he's her. There's one scene where they talk about who are we? I mean, it's not our words, it's not our feelings. We're expressing it's so intelligent and so interesting. And I'm really grateful to play characters like that. I mean, if I can only do that the rest of my career, that's what I want to do, like multi-layered characters. And I would bring a lot. I mean, if you have a character with multi-layers, you don't have to show everything at the same time, but it makes it very grounded, and people will kind of get attracted to that person more, because we are showing the film through George's eyes in a way. So we need the people, the audience who watches the film, to like him. We need them to kind of like see something in him that they can relate to. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
I don't
guys.
know what
Thank
else
you.
I want to add to
Yeah,
that.
thank you guys so much for your time. I'm going to end with a
Yeah.
very a cinema question. And first off, Harris, I looked at some of your interviews and you said you prefer watching movies alone. And I was so
Yes.
happy because I love doing that as well. So fantasy level, you have all the time in the world. You're by yourself in a movie theater. What is the movie that you're going to watch? That's my first question. And my second question, Cherien, I apologize to you, is I'm going to force feed you this movie. What is it about In the Mood for Love that makes it such an impactful experience for you? And thank you both for your time.
Wow. So you like, if I had to choose one film, and this is because, like I mentioned, Laen, The Hate, because I watched it not completely by myself, but I was with another cineast friend of mine in Gothenburg, and we were in the cinema by ourselves in the middle of the day, and we were watching it. I assumed that both of you had watched it, and then when the gun goes off by the end of the film, it was kind of like I mean, I can't even describe what I was feeling at that. And to me, that would be if I had to choose one film, which is really hard. I wish you said like 10. In the Mood for Love is In the Mood for Love is one of them. But if I had to choose one, it would be Laen.
Great, thank you.
I love that you brought up In the Mood for Love. It really is a
Yeah.
film that I talk about a lot. And I think what it is about that film is it's probably a couple of things. One of them is that it's just so lyrical and poetic. Just the combination of blocking, slow motion, score, the richness of the mise en scène, the cinematography, the colors. There's just so much. Like, I've never seen a movie that evoked a sense of longing as much as that film. And it just, you watch the movie and you're just filled with longing for these characters to like be together. So for me, it was such a successful movie in kind of expressing what it set out to express and telling the story and evoking the emotional response that it set out to evoke from the audience, that it just became like a masterclass for me in all things cinema, like literally just everything from cinematography to the blocking of the actors to how to effectively use slow motion and score, all of it. I just think it's one of the most perfect films I've ever seen.
Great. Thank you guys so
Just the
much for
subtlety, the composition. I mean, I could go on. I'll stop.
no, I wish you could go on, but I don't want to waste both of your times. My bad. But thank you guys so much for your time. And I really love this film. Really love it.
Thank you so much.
So
Thank
happy
you.
to hear that.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for talking to us.
Pleasure. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.